Hey, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruach HaKodash. I want to say double honors to our apostles who are elders who rule well. Also, blessings and salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth and sincerity. This is for Abba Mouth with the Nebraska camp. And yeah, man, we're in some beautiful times. Just seeing an article. I'm going to get the article, pull it up. But I'm going to put it in post-production. As well, it says USAF F-35 lands after taking fire over Iran pilot stable. And the reason why this is some dope ass news is because Esau like to make his boast that he can't be taken down. That jet in particular can't be hit. Because of his stealth or whatever reason, and the technology, it ain't just, they're losing and this, no, it's the fact that prophecy is manifesting because Iran has a technology that can hit him and, take that jet down. And a lot of people, Americans will sit there and say, yeah, we're too advanced, we're too this, too that, and you don't know what them people got, and then you're finding out. And they're sitting there dropping your ass. You sitting there got the $1 billion radar systems getting knocked out by drones strategy, So having the shiniest sword don't really mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Only gonna take you so far. It does. I ain't gonna say it doesn't mean nothing. It does. Nuclear missiles are nuclear missile. You know what I'm saying? But if people can counteract it, if you got somebody that can hack your system, what good is your nuclear system? Ultimately, the Most High, turn it on and off. So, type of deal. But let's get into it. This was put out March 19th, 2026. And the reason why I'm bringing it out is because Esau is losing his power, mainly the daughter of Babylon. All right? Matter of fact, before I get into that, we're going to get into Isaiah 14. So we're going to get to Isaiah 14 and 4. It says, thou shalt, Slakia. Yeah. What does it start here? That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. And the king of Babylon right now is Nero, a.k.a. Donald DJ Trumper. Okay? And it says, and say, how have the oppressors ceased? The golden city cease, because not only that, there's another situation floating around that the prime minister of Japan, and you could pull it up. I think it happened 2 days ago. Well, the interaction happened 2 days. I don't know when the interaction happened with a meeting. I know it's publicized, so Jay can look it up. But there's a ripple in the pond. Trump sits there next to this lady, and she asks, why you ain't tell us about what you was about to do to Iran? Because this the thing, as the scriptures say, the nation shall hate the whore. Okay? Matter of fact, we got to get it. We all in the, it's all boiling over at the same time, man. Terror making them afraid on every side. All right? So, not spelled Nathan. No, I didn't. So, Revelation 17 and 16, it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And this is prophecy. Now, Japan is not a part of the 10 horns, okay? But he's all around spreading, he's just doing what he wants. And it's affecting, what he's doing in the Middle East is affecting his allied countries. You know what I'm saying? France, England, like the Strait of Hormuz is closed to everybody, except America and Israel, finally for them. But a lot of them European countries couldn't get no access, man. And they just had to deal how they had to deal. And that dramatically affects their economy, you know. Meanwhile, even in this situation, they're going over there in Iran and doing all this madness. And you did all this in Venezuela. You got all that oil. Now you're going over there trying to take their oil. And then oil prices are shooting up still. So it's like redundant. People, even American citizens are tired of this shit. It's like, what are you doing? You know, I was watching a video with it. I don't know if it's real or not, but they had a female trucker, you know, standing under a sign just yelling, okay? Looked like she was doing it for attention. But, you know, this is the type of effect that it has on us. And, you know, ultimately people are going to find out this ain't about no politics. This ain't about Republican. This ain't about having women's liberated off in Iran or fentanyl. You're going to find out that it's about the rich elite controlling all the product and produce and resources. And you're not a part of it. And these stupid, dumb, you know, Americans, specifically Edomites, are so biased in judgment that they're rooting on everything that he does because he's an Edomite and that's their leader. You know what I'm saying? And this guy has not, you know, even honored what they were saying he was going to do in the first place. Okay? You know, the housing markets went up. Okay? You're losing jobs because of AI. He's furthering AI. Okay? He's putting up war. He didn't put up the wall. Like, he's not doing none of that, but people still like, I've seen somebody say, give him some time. Hey, shut the hell up. This is his second term. and this ain't about politics. He is doing the bidding of the rich elite. Okay? Which I have a strong belief that them bankers, you know, use that Epstein as like, hey, you better do what the fuck I'm telling you to do. Okay? And they put it out there to say, I'll do it. You know, because once that happened, he went to like trying to shake it all, blame it on other people. And then he just finally got up and did what they wanted him to do, which is go over there and bomb Iran. For what? No warning, no nothing. Okay? And the thing is that I forget when it started, but when you go into I forget what the like Article 15 or something like that, when you know dealing with war crimes, he got 90 days. You know, and this has happened before when someone went into Iran thinking it was going to be I believe Iraq, one of the Middle Eastern countries, thinking about it be 2 weeks and end up turning it to 8 years. Okay, so once that happened, and let's say that do happen, because at this point, America's going to have to either yield, put troops on the ground, or you know, really go hard. Really have to do something, because Iran, the way they're doing it, it's like you're going to have to really put your hands on something. You're going to have to, you can't do all this strategic indirect bombing and stuff like that. You're going to have to really get busy, you know? And, you know, you talking about drafting, you talking about all this, and all these people talking about MAGA, Make America Great Again. You talking about you Nobel Peace Prize. People are even, like, you look it up, the polls of Amalek Small had approval significantly dropped, mainly amongst the youth. You know, people are losing faith in this country. And I ain't talking about Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. I'm talking about, you know, MAGA hat bucket heads. But there are certain ones that just gonna hold on to the end because they don't like nobody but themselves, man. They think because they belong at the top, and when they're at the top, everything is okay. When they're a bunch of demons, you know. But neither here nor there. Let's get back to it. All right. It says Isaiah 14 and 5. It says, the Lord hath broken the staff. Oh, so like it, we go back to 4. It says, thou shalt take a proverb against the king of Babylon, saying, how have the oppressor ceased and the golden city ceased? Okay? Because Esau's losing his pomp, man. And it's not like he's losing. It's like everybody's really getting up to his level and or above. They got weapons that he don't know, like the dancing missile. You know what I'm saying? The supersonic missiles that they have. It's not like Esau don't have them, but they didn't expect for Iran to have these type of weaponry. You know what I'm saying? They got their CIA, their monthly prognosticators, the sorcerers, you know, their setups, and they think they had everything under control, but they're putting themselves in a situation and they're being made a fool of themselves. And the you know, those MAGA naggers are just hella biased. And people are just fed up because there's a reality. There's a reality when you sitting there saying it's okay, but when you go to the pump, you know, it ain't. You say it's okay, but when you go to the grocery store, it ain't. You say it's okay, but when rentings due, it ain't. You know what I'm saying? When mortgages due, it ain't. You go to look for jobs, and it ain't. You know what I'm saying? They'll tell you they making jobs, but that's McDonald's, nigga. McDonald's don't cut it because of the housing market has significantly increased because of greedy ass rich people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna come to a point people gonna come to their senses. Okay, and we getting there, and it's a beautiful thing. And not only that, but he's losing fights. Because it's one thing for you to do all that to everybody and you the bully and nobody could beat you, but you getting beat, you getting dropped. Okay, your bases are getting bombed. You got to lie. They're lying, doing deep fakes, AIs of Netanyahu being alive with two different situations. He's in a press conference, but America's sitting there saying it was a Zoom meeting, but Israel's putting out an AI video showing that trying to implement that they're in the same room. It's a mess. It's a big ass mess, man. Okay, and going to Isaiah 14:5, it says the Lord had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers, and that's their power. All right, and he's broken it in ways of making other military equal, making through Esau's constant capitalist greed. You know, it loses the faith of the citizens. All right, education system's low. Everybody's propaganda program heavily induced with preservatives and additives. Okay. Can't go to war with these citizens. These niggas ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like these people, you got women, hella women in there on those boats. Speaking of boats, they up there. It's alleged that they're those floods and the fires. It was the army, the service people in the army are setting that up. They say that they're clogging the toilets, they're setting the fires because they don't want to go to war with Iran. That's the speculation, man. So he's in a very he's in a quagmire, man. And he's just gonna have to go forward and do what he's trying to do without the approval of America. Say, you know what, fuck it. You know what, fuck it. I don't care what y'all say. I'm over here for oil. Just like they were talking all that fentanyl, and went over there for oil. You didn't see them making no bus fit. They ain't touched no fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? Killed 300,000 people and this and that. Man, these guys here. And then on top of that, man, Apostle Ramlap did a beautiful lesson and a beautiful point that Esau will not be satisfied with blood, man. He's out here talking about the numbers. We killed these many people. You know, Iran telling you to leave. You know, telling people leave before they bomb the bases. Like, this is all being documented, and many people shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Through the unicorn, people are seeing this and saying, damn, bro, you keep saying you the good guy, but you bombing people, you bombing schools, you doing this, you saying you don't know. Then your partner Israel saying a whole different story, then you come back and try to rebuttal it, and it's like, nah, bro, like, y'all doing too much, because there's people that believed in the American dream, that believe what Trump's saying. There's people that don't care and just want a white man to be on top, Edomite to be on top, right? But there's people that are dumb in a program that really believe that they're making America great again and they're saving the world. And then you see them bomb a school and you really can't get over it. Them people are fucked up in the head, man. You know what I'm saying? And they're losing hope in the system, man. And then you seeing it happen over here. Happen over there, and then you go to your regular life. In your regular life, you taking an L. And then while you're in the grocery store, you're looking like, damn, the prices is like this because we're bombing kids' schools and shit. You know what I'm saying? You're not saying like you're fighting for freedom, so I'll take this L. No, you're realizing that, man, this is some bullshit, man. Why am I taking the brunt of this? Okay? What's it, BlackRock? You know, losing investments. You know, millions of dollars. Like shit. This shit's hitting the fan, man. All right, shit. This place is going to hell in a handbaskets, as they say. So let's go back to Isaiah 14:6. It says, "He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke." Yeah, you went over there, bomb Venezuela. You went over there, fuck with Mexico. You went in there and mess with Argentina. You went there, Syria. You went in 2 or 4 throughout the earth, taking peace from the earth continually with a continuous stroke, just constantly fucking over people. You know, no breaks. And saying that you're doing it for a good reason, you're doing it for salvation, you're doing it to help people, and in all reality, people are finding out that you're doing it for produce and control, you know, for oil, for whatever resource you're trying to do it for. Okay, so it says the whole earth is at rest. It's like it said, "He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruleth the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none hindereth." All right, because and we ain't get there yet. We ain't get there yet. All right, we ain't get there to the point that shit is really starting to affect Babylon economically and physically. When troops start dying, ain't nobody all that save our troops and all that. Ain't nobody gonna care. You've been bombing everybody, man. The whole world sees this. People see this from America to Barbados, man. To Vietnam. Like, people see this. And your sorcery and your propaganda is not going to work. As Yahweh Shem Yahushua said, man, go to your monthly prognosticators. Stand without enchantments. Your propaganda is not going to work, because there's a reality. And the unicorn is exposing it before your lies could come out. And now you're trying to use your AI to try to combat the unicorn. But it ain't going to work, man. It's too late. The narrative is, the contact clues is already set. It ain't like you could just, you think it'll die down and people will forget, a generation after. You're trying to reset history and try to lie. Man, people see that, man. Okay? Probably got people downloaded, whistleblowers. Okay? But and it says the whole earth is at rest and it's quiet. They break forth into singing. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because peace. All right, when Esau goes down, peace is gonna come forth and abound, man. Okay, and people are starting to realize it, man. People are starting to realize that America gotta go. America gotta go, bro, because y'all doing too much. Y'all out here, doing this and doing that, but nobody could really stop them because they're big and bad. But now your F-33 is getting dropped. Your $1 billion bases, now you can't even fly over somewhere and try to do something because your radars is messed up and you can't hit your target properly. So now you got to put boots on the ground, and the boots you got to put on the ground, they ain't robots. Hey, might be speaking too soon, but they ain't. For right now, they ain't robots, and they're fed up. They're tired. You didn't sold them the dream that this is going to make us better economically, and it's not. And people are struggling, and people that believed in this BS system are wondering why the hell you're over there making everybody's life miserable. Then you got police just tearing people up. You got shootings and poverty. Again, terrorists should make them afraid on every side, man. So that's why it's called law, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, for this transpiring, because the end is being made manifest, and the devil is being revealed as well, man. All we gotta do is keep teaching. We don't gotta yell at nobody. We don't gotta try to fight. I don't gotta do no triple-double research. I don't gotta find a nigga uncle and his DNA. I don't gotta do none of that. Everything is manifesting on its own, which means coming to a reality, man. And all we gotta do is consistently teach the truth directly and correctly, knowing that that type of information is going to come forth, man. Especially because of the unicorn. Like this war has been as much on in real life as on the internet, man. Putting up posts showing down planes, propaganda, both sides. You know what I'm saying? High-tech weaponry on both sides. All right? And this ain't gonna be this ain't about no boots on the ground. It's gonna end up in burning and fuel of fire. Not garments rolled in blood. This war is gonna end differently. Okay? And that's what we're prophesying about, whether people like it or not, because you won't go to school or you believe in your program or your business, all right, or the idea that you have in your head that this place is gonna continue forever. You know what I'm saying? And we're telling you what prophecy say and you don't like it. But guess what? The end is going to be made manifest. And those of you who didn't want to take heed, you ain't going to have no second chance. Okay? So, I don't really have to go into I'll read a little bit of article, but I don't have to go into it. I said what I said. You know what I'm saying? And it says what it says, and what happened, happened. You got somebody that you thought that couldn't fuck with you military-wise, technology-wise, that is shooting down your airplanes, that's busting through your Iron Dome, supersonic missiles, you know what I'm saying? Certain missiles that afloat and just float underwater, undetectable by radar, and a hit, and cause tsunamis and shit. Like, bro, these people was ready because you've been being a devil to all these people, and everybody's uniting. Just like I said, the Prime Minister of Japan is sitting here and making deals with Russia, man, with oil. So you just lost another ally. Then you got on TV and said you don't need NATO because you got the peace board, the World Peace Board. But even you beefing with them, and the people thinking that because he set his nest among the stars and his power is his air, his air military. And if that's his power, that motherfucker got crippled. That eagle lost his beak. You know what I'm saying? Because you could use, all you got really now is your nukes and your B-2. Your ship's getting fucked up. Your little stealth bombs getting fucked up. Your satellites or your drones and your missiles can't land correctly. So your power, your staff has been broken with the most part of your the most powerful part of your army, which is your drone strikes and your air superiority. You know what I'm saying? They crippled that. I ain't saying you're done, but hey, you leaking. Like Leonidas throwing that spear at Artaxerxes, man. You know what I'm saying? And letting people know he could bleed. Iran let everybody know America can bleed, man. And everybody been wanting to fight. Russia been on that type of time, but nobody's just really believed that they can make them bleed. But Iran said, you know what? Because they thought they can go over there and bomb them people like they did Venezuela, and then the people are submitting. They say, nah, we prepared. We prepared to go a very long time. And they're using the war of attrition. They're not sitting here trying to hurt people. They're just crippling. Because there's many ways of war. And one of them is to attack their communications. That's always been a tactic of war. Communications, travel, resources, you know what I'm saying? And ultimately you attack, run, and then make that person deplete their resources. Okay? And that's what's happening. Billions and billions of dollars. And then guess who's going to have to pay for that? The American citizens. Life is hard enough. Rent too damn high. Rent been too damn high. Then the housing market ain't paying you enough. I mean, not the housing, the job market ain't paying you enough. And you want to tell somebody to get an education, but you like you make it so hard, or the jobs aren't guaranteed. So it's like, it's a quagmire. It's all bullshit, and people are going to wake up to it, and they're waking up to it, man. So call all y'all about your mouth shot for that. With that being said, and give double honor to our apostles or our elders who rule well. Blessings and salutations to you brothers out there teaching, enduring truth, sincerity. Hey, shalom.